So after Casino Royale happens, James Bond, because his girlfriend Vesper betrayed him and died at the end of that movie, he's going after the guys they were working for. So the movie starts and there's this big car chase that was thrown in right in the middle of it. Everything's shaking. You can't tell what the fuck's going on. That's like the whole movie is like that. Like every action scene is like that because the Bourne Identity just come out. So the other car chase, and then in the car chase is Mr. White, who was the guy behind the bad guys in that movie. But then he gets away because his people have spies everywhere. And so James Bond goes and tracks him down. He goes and tracks down the lead, and he kills that guy. And he kills the guy, and then he has to find another lead. And M's like, why do you keep killing all of your leads, you fucking moron? And then he goes and tracks these guys down, and they're meeting at an opera for some reason, and they're having like this secret meeting with like earpieces while the opera's going on, and it's really stupid and it's really goofy, but I actually really like it because it's the only part of this movie that actually feels like a James Bond movie, and they're like, yeah, let's discuss our evil plan to take control of the water in Bolivia, and James Bond is like, oh, off to fucking Bolivia, I guess. So he teams up with this rebel lady who wants to get this army guy who is working with the bad guy who is Dominic Green, and he is evil and wants to control the water supply. And then the CIA is also involved because they want to be running the new government in Bolivia? Yes, Bolivia. And they're like, hey, M, get James Bond to stop doing James Bond stuff. And Emma's like, bitch, shut the fuck down. I'm Judi Dench. You can't tell me to do fucking shit. So they find out what the bad guys are doing, and they go up in the air in a plane. There's a big plane dogfight. And then M sends this agent to like get James Bond to calm the fuck down, and he just shags her because of course he does. It's James Bond. What the fuck did M think was going to happen? And then they go to this big hotel in the desert where they fight the bad guys, and they blow the place up and they beat them. And the bad guy gives James Bond a bunch of information about the evil organization, and then the movie just kind of ends, and James Bond goes to somewhere snowy and meets the guy who was the boyfriend of the girlfriend who betrayed him and then died. Like she betrayed him and died for this guy, but it turns out that was like a trick they were pulling on her, and he's going to go and bring down this evil organization. That doesn't really get followed up on. But yeah, this is a bad one of the Daniel Craig ones. Like there's no sense of escalation in this movie. Like I remember watching this when I was like 17 and watching the big final fight in the hotel, but because there'd been like no sense of rising action, like this wasn't any more intense than any of the other action scenes, so I genuinely had no idea this was the climax of the movie. This is really bad.